hands, arms, legs, and feet into the vehicle as well. If there's an animal that we find you want to take a picture of, I do recommend a sports, live, or action setting for your camera. It helps with all the bumps. This is the look entering forest where the animals are usually hiding. We'll try and look far and wide to find them all. Like on the right, in the right corner by the tree is an okapi out there. Okapi are pretty good hiders with dark bodies that look like shadows and stripes that look like rays of sun. It can also look like a zebra when it stands still, but it's related to a giraffe. Now, similar bone structure and share long tongues. On the left-hand side, that's the bongo. They're nicknamed the ghost of the forest. They tiptoe when they walk around, and they'll lay their horns on their back to slide through their surroundings without being seen as well. On the right-hand side, if you look up in that nest, you can kind of see the shadow of the saddle-billed stork. It's black, white, orange, and yellow, just the top of her head's up there. If anything, you can still see a really big nest for a really big bird that stands at 5 feet tall. They even have a wingspan of 9 feet. But there's one more thing out here. Just kind of swing on over to it. Look out to the left. There's the greater kudu at the top of the hill. There's 3 of them. They'll usually be standing as still as their surroundings so they can listen. If they hear any kind of danger, they actually jump as high as 8 feet in the air to evade their predators. They can run pretty close to 60 miles per hour or so. But our next location here is the Sahi River, so we can look towards the water for what we can find. In the back right corner, there's a Nile hippopotamus up on the shore. That's what you call a leashawk. Now they are pretty big. They weigh about the size of a medium car. They can swim and they choose not to. So you can find them on the floor, walking and running to move. You can try and find them on the left. Just know they do hold their breath for 8 minutes. It could be a while before you actually see them. That's okay, because we were really lucky with that first one. They usually only come out of the water at nighttime in the grass around the lakes. If you look on the left though, there's also the Nile crocodiles down on that muddy shoreline. Look how big it is. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my god. 8 of them. Wow. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Those guys are no joke. They weigh around 500 pounds. They're able to consume half of their body weight in one sitting. They'll even crush the bones of their prey as they eat. So we're not going to stick around to try and see. We're definitely going to keep going ahead. Now we'll say though, they do sit so still that they can actually stretch their food and save their energy. Those guys only have to eat once a week. Alright, Here in the savanna, these animals don't have as many hiding spots. They travel in a large group as infants, you'll have an easier time finding them. And the first one's a dazzle of zebras. So the group of them is called. There are 2 babies, about 5 months old. There's the one above the fallen tree, it's a little lighter in color. And there's one over here above this bush. That's the 2 of them. Their stripe patterns are going to be unique to each one of them so they can identify their family members. But the stripe layout is unique to their species. So their white bellies and thicker stripes mean they're hardwood mountain zebras. And this is the Ancole cattle. Their horns are 6 to 8 feet in length from tip to tip, and they're made of a honeycomb structure inside, so they're not heavy. They'll spend their day circulating blood in their horns to regulate their body temperature. On the left, though, African wild dog. They're actually awake, so this is very good timing. They're usually sleeping.
What's so funny?
They're called a wild dog, and they're called painted dogs thanks to the spots on their back. They're unique to each one of them so they can identify each other as well. They're one of the most successful hunters in the wild, traveling in packs of 30 or more, and collectively chasing their prey until it drops from exhaustion. Over on the left in the back left corner, those are the sable, the dark brown with the horns on their head. There's also the wildebeest as we drive by. Now, there's only one antelope in the wild that will actually fight back against predators and never back down from a fight no matter what comes their way. And that was the sable antelope that you saw back there. While the wildebeest, very impressive too, because they travel in the largest herd of any animal in the entire world. They'll reach a group of 1.5 million. There's so many of them that when they do things like stampede, they're actually helping revive ecosystems by their feet overturning the soil around themselves. We're definitely going to find some more up ahead. Well, over on the right, there's also this giant tan antelope standing out in the middle. That's called the eland. Oh my gosh, wait. On the left, do you see the giraffe in the tree?
Oh, yeah.
He's hiding.
Right there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can barely see his head, huh?
Hopefully we'll find more around the corner. I'm just gonna say the eland, that's the tallest species of antelope on the right. They do reach 6 feet tall just at their shoulders. Oh look, the female's hiding on the left. She's between the bushes kind of straight out there. She's peeking out. They're all playing hide and seek right now, apparently. Oh, look, there's some more giraffes on the left. Oh! Those are Maasai giraffes. Usually you find them like the first one we saw. They do eat and walk around for so long, but they only sleep for 30 minutes a day. They'll be consuming around 70 pounds of vegetation. They do have a 16 to 20 foot height to help them reach, of course. And they have 18-inch long tongues as well. Alright, our next animal is right around the corner here. They don't usually need an introduction. Probably know what they are. They're called the greater flamingos. At the same time, look way out to the left. Do you see the elephant back there underneath the giant hay that's hanging down? That's an African elephant. That's the big dad. He's like 40 years old back there. Now the greater flamingos, largest and lightest pink of their species. I don't know what they're saying. So they are different than normal. As for the African elephant, you can look for it one more time on the left-hand side. If you look past these old rocks, you can see it through the bushes. Now those trunks you see, those have over 40,000 muscles in them. They're able to pick up singular blades of grass with their muscle control, or hold 5 gallons of water with how much space they have in their trunks. Ooh, over on the right, there's some ostriches down there. Considering where they are, we'll probably see them again in a few minutes. So over here, we're going to look for the fastest land mammal. They're going to be somewhere on the left-hand side, way up in these hills. But I can't lie, they've been hard to find on this side all day long. So we're going to creep over to the other side. We're looking for the cheetahs on these hills. And there they are, all the way around on this side. They do run at 60-70 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds. Use their tails to change direction after that. Their intense speed is actually known to increase their body temperature dramatically and exhaust them. They're usually found laying on the ground, blending in to keep from being seen while they're vulnerable. So you actually caught them at a good time, considering where the lighting was. We could see all three. But straight ahead, these are the white rhinoceros, and they're really loose.
What do you think? Oh, they are right there. They are? It comes across the street.
These two right here, these are children. You can tell from the underdeveloped horns. Just trying to make sure the other drivers stop. They're blocking the road back there. There's one more child on the right. They're huge though, despite their age. There's also the ostriches way in the back there. Again. And we'll see them one more time. Don't worry about it. But the white rhinos, they weigh 5,000 pounds when they're full grown. Their size defends their children from predators. They're still able to run at 30 miles per hour. They'll gallop like a horse when they reach that speed. Oh, look on the left-hand side. Oh, it's running. In that left corner, there's warthogs back there. Tucked way in the back. They run at 30 miles per hour too. They're kind of hiding. Okay, but the ostriches, tallest bird in the world they are just flightless. They run at 40 miles per hour and use their wings to change direction as they do. That antelope out there with them, that's called a water buffalo. They just drink a lot of water for an antelope. I'll tell you something kind of cool. If you look on the right hand side, you're going to see the ostrich egg on the ground by the tall grass. That's one of our animal keepers there. Something kind of cool is the ostriches do lay eggs whether fertilized or not to mark their territory. And she's currently looking for one of their eggs that they just laid a few minutes ago. That's why she's looking around. They weigh around 3 to 4 pounds and have a really big shell, a super shell, and one of the largest bird eggs out there. And over here, Nigerian dwarf goats.
They're talking to you. Are they silly?
He just sneezed. I've never seen them do that. They're very playful, sociable, cute, and they're milk goats. You can tell the milky goats used to be throbbing, but they're having a pet at the same time. But passing note does mean we're reaching the end of our journey. So if you heard cool fact or got a good photo of an animal, I ask you to go out there and spread awareness about them today. Most of the species we just looked at together are actually endangered and need our help if we want to keep them around. By reducing, using, recycling, replenishing, and spreading awareness, we're working to bring back their lands and lives one step at a time every day. It just takes a little consistent effort from the humans who share the land with them. And it doesn't have to be hard. Every small step you take can actually be 10 times larger for animals and ourselves as well. We can all make a difference out there. Alright, then go ahead and make sure you have all of your long ladies. It's our turn to get out there.